The fire that stands in your way is not your destruction. It is your formation. The weight crushing you is also refining you. The setback is preparing you to lead others tomorrow. The trial that feels like it is breaking you is also forming you. The scriptures says in Isaiah 43 verse 2, "When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, and the flame shall not consume you." If you're listening to this, there's a chance you're tired. Not just physically, but deep down, where words don't really reach. Things haven't been easy, and if you're honest, this isn't where you thought you would be by now. You planned differently. You prayed differently. You expected something else. But here you are, and it feels like you're stuck in something you can't control. God, you see this moment, because sometimes it doesn't feel like growth. It feels like everything is tightening at once. Pressure from different sides. Questions with no clear answers. Waiting longer than you thought you'd have to. And no one really explains this part. They talk about blessings. They talk about breakthroughs. But they don't talk enough about the middle. This place where you're still holding on. But your grip feels weaker than it used to. God, stay close to us here. Because the truth is, this kind of season can make you question things. Not always out loud, but quietly. You start wondering if you missed something. If you took a wrong turn somewhere. If maybe things aren't going to work out the way you hoped. But even here, God hasn't stepped away. Even now, He's not distant. He's just not loud. And that can feel confusing, because we expect clarity. But what we get is silence. We expect quick change. But things move slowly, or not at all. Still, something is happening, even if you can't point to it yet. God, help us trust what we cannot see. Because growth like this, it's not obvious. It doesn't always look strong. Sometimes it looks like showing up when you don't feel like it. Like praying without the right words. Like choosing not to quit, even when it would be easier. And that counts. More than you think. The weight you're carrying. It feels personal. Like it was designed just for you. And maybe in a way it was. Not to harm you, but to shape something in you. Something steady. Something deeper than quick confidence. The kind of strength that doesn't panic easily. The kind that stays, even when things don't change overnight. God, build that kind of strength in us. Because right now, you might not feel strong at all. You might feel stretched, or behind, or unsure of what's next. But this isn't the full picture. It's just the part you can see. God sees further than this moment. He sees what this is building, where this is leading, who you're becoming through it. And that version of you, it's not weak. It's not easily shaken. It's someone who has been through something real and didn't lose their faith in the process. God, don't let us lose that. There's also something else. The setback you're dealing with. It feels like it closed something important. An opportunity. A plan. Something you were counting on. And it's hard not to replay it. To think about what could have gone differently. But not every closed door is a mistake. Some things end because they were never meant to carry you forward, even if they felt right at the time. God, help us release what we don't understand, because holding on to what didn't work can quietly keep you stuck, and you're not meant to stay here. This season, as heavy as it feels, it's not permanent. It's shaping you, not defining you. There's a difference, and maybe you won't see it fully now, but later, you'll notice how certain things don't shake you the same way. How your thinking changed. How your reactions softened. How your faith became less about feelings and more about trust. That doesn't happen without pressure. God, finish what you started. You're not being overlooked. You're not forgotten. Even if it feels slow. Even if nothing looks like it's moving. Something is settling inside you. Something is becoming more stable. And that matters more than quick results. Because what God builds slowly tends to last. So don't rush yourself out of this. I know it's uncomfortable, but there's something here you'll need later. Especially when it's your turn to help someone else. Because that's coming too. You won't always be the one trying to figure it out. One day, someone will come to you, and they'll recognize something in you. Not perfection, but steadiness. And you'll realize, this season had a purpose you couldn't see before. God used this for something good. For now, just stay with God. Even if your prayers are short, stay grounded. Even if your thoughts are all over the place, stay open. Even if you don't have answers yet, that's enough for this moment. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to not walk away. God, keep us steady. Because this fire, it's not here to end you. And this weight, it's not here to crush you. And this season, it's not here to erase you. It's doing something quieter than that. Something deeper. It's forming you. Slowly, but surely. And God is still right here, in it with you. And even now, God is still speaking. Not always in thunder, not always in answers, but in the quiet persistence that keeps you here. There is something sacred about the fact that you are still listening, still here, still holding on, still not completely letting go of faith, even if it feels thin. And I want you to hear this as clearly as possible. This is not wasted. Not one tear. Not one unanswered question. Not one slow morning where you had to force yourself to get up again. Romans 5 verses 3-4 says, "We also glory in tribulations, knowing that tribulation produces perseverance, and perseverance, character, and character, hope." Do you see the order of that? Not comfort first, not escape first, but formation through pressure. And maybe that is what this is. Not punishment, not rejection, but process. God is not trying to erase you in this fire. He is revealing what cannot be destroyed inside you. And I know that sounds strong when you feel weak. But weakness is often where God speaks the clearest. Because when you stop relying on what you used to depend on, you begin to notice what was always carrying you quietly. There is a kind of grace that only becomes visible when your own strength runs out. And maybe that is why this feels the way it feels. Because something deeper is being introduced into your life. Dependence that is not fragile. Faith that is not emotional only. Trust that remains even when feelings change. And I need you to understand something very carefully. Not everything that feels like loss is actually loss. Sometimes it is rearrangement. Sometimes it is God separating your life from things that looked like support, but were actually limitations. And you don't always recognize that in real time. Isaiah 43 verse 19 says, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it?" That word, perceive, means to recognize what is already moving, which means God can be active, and you can still feel unsure. God can be building, and you can still feel like nothing is changing, because His timing is not always synchronized with your awareness. And I know this part is heavy, because waiting has a way of making everything feel personal. You start asking, why me? Why this long? Why this way? And sometimes heaven doesn't answer those questions the way you expect. Not because God is absent, but because answers are not always the first thing needed. Sometimes strength is. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9 says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Not in control, not in clarity, not in certainty, but in weakness. That means your lowest feeling place is not disqualified from God's highest strength. And I know that does not remove the pressure, but it changes what the pressure means. It means this is not the end of your capacity. It is the expansion of it. There is something else happening in this season too. Your perception is being refined. Because right now, you might only be able to see what is not working, what is delayed, what is unclear. But God is working in dimensions you are not trained to measure yet. And this is where trust becomes uncomfortable. Because trust is not built when everything makes sense. It is built when nothing does. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." Notice it doesn't say understand first. It says trust first. And that is difficult because your mind wants explanation before surrender. But faith is often the decision to keep walking without full explanation. Not because you are ignoring reality, but because you believe reality is not the final authority. God is. And let me speak to the part of you that feels overlooked. The part that wonders if anyone sees how much you are carrying, how much you are managing silently, how much effort it takes just to keep going. Psalm 34 verse 18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Not far, not distant, not observing from a distance. Close. That means the very place you feel most fragile is the place God positions himself closest. And I know that is not always emotionally obvious, because closeness with God in hard seasons does not always feel like relief. Sometimes it feels like endurance with quiet strength underneath it, but it is still closeness. And there is something I need you to sit with. You are not behind. You are not delayed in the way you think. You are in formation, and formation does not follow comparison timelines. You cannot measure spiritual shaping by other people's visible progress, because what God is building in you is not just outcomes, it is stability, the kind that does not collapse when outcomes shift. There will come a time where what feels heavy now will become the very thing that made you steady later. Not because it becomes easy, but because it becomes understood. And understanding changes everything. Because when you finally see what God was doing, you stop calling it punishment. You start calling it preparation. And even now, I want you to hear this gently. You do not have to rush out of this season just to feel okay. Because rushing does not heal what God is still shaping. Some things only settle through time. Not avoidance, not escape, not distraction. Time with God in the middle of it. Jeremiah 29 verse 11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." That does not mean the path will always feel smooth. It means the destination is still intact even when the process feels unclear. Your future has not been erased by your present difficulty. And I want to say this in a very simple way. You are not being abandoned in detail. Even the small things matter to God. The moments you didn't speak about, the thoughts you didn't express, the nights you just lay there exhausted in your mind. He sees all of it, not as noise, but as part of your becoming. And I know there are moments where you feel like you are barely holding on. But listen carefully. Holding on is still participation. Even if it feels weak, even if it feels inconsistent, even if it feels uncertain, you are still connected. And that connection is not insignificant. Because God does not only work through strong faith, He also works through surviving faith. Faith that is tired but still present. Faith that is quiet but still alive. Faith that is confused but still turned toward Him. And slowly, quietly, without drama, something is being formed in you that pressure cannot destroy. Not because pressure is small, but because what God places inside you is deeper than pressure. So if today feels like you are just getting through it, that is still movement. If today feels emotionally unclear, that is still not abandonment. If today feels slow, that is still not absence of progress. God, keep this person steady in what they cannot yet interpret. Let what is forming inside them become stronger than what is pressing against them. And when this season is complete, let them not only say, I survived it, but I was shaped through it. And one day, you will look back, not with confusion, but with understanding, and you will realize God was not silent. He was just building something in you that needed time to speak for itself.